love bugs? Y'all should already know who I am, but in case you don't and you're new to my channel, it's your favorite Queen of Hearts, Lady L to the IPS. Yes, and this is the start of a new season. So welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to my channel, that is. I'm so glad to have y'all here. And to kick off the season, I actually reached out to some of my Instagram friends who are also some very loyal viewers and supporters. And some of them even were guests on my podcast from past seasons. And I asked them to help me with this segment because I kind of wanted to do a reverse interview. I wanted them to ask me questions about all things love, life, sex, and relationships. And as you know, Lady L to the IPS will keep it real, okay? I gotta be honest. So they were allowed to ask me anything they wanted to ask me, but it had to fit in those categories. I couldn't choose questions from everyone, so I did have to narrow it down just to keep this video, at a contained and digestible time frame. So before I get started and dive into these questions, as you can see, I am rocking a brand new logo, and this is compliments of a cool former colleague who is also a sweetheart. So let's take a moment and let me introduce you to him. Even though he's choosing to be anonymous, I want to pay homage. Yes, folks, my talented and kind former colleague and friend helped me with the creation of my new podcast logo for this new season while also working on a survival horror RPG game. Yes, that's right, folks. He is a game creator. This unique game combines modern RPG elements with the tension most associated with survival horror. It involves exploring complex structures, solving puzzles, and managing inventory as is in survival horror games. But it also focuses on character development, elemental abilities, quests, and a skill tree used to help shape the main character, who is known as Violet. You see the correlation? Me too. Anyways, regarding the fantasy of elemental abilities, it adds a surreal twist to the horror, making gameplay more exciting. To learn more about this game and its development, please visit the Project Genesis community on Facebook. This game is part of an epic saga exploring deep questions about humanity. It's designed to be impactful and thought-provoking, leaving players pondering the meaning of being human long after they finish playing. Follow for updates on this ambitious project, and you can get periodic updates from him. Link is in the bio. And if this is not your thing, forward it to somebody who is. Thanks. So welcome back, y'all. I don't know if y'all sipping, but I'm sipping. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It might be 5 o'clock here, but who knows? And I ain't telling. Shout out to my frister, too. I don't think y'all can see it, but she got me these really beautiful drinking glasses, and it has Sentimentally Speaking etched on the front of it. I think it's difficult for you guys to see, but it's across here, and I just thought that was such a personal gift, loving touch. Thank you, Frissy Poo. So anyway, let's dive right into this. First question is from my girl, Ty. I went to high school with Ty. Such a sweetheart. Mad cool. Shout out to you, Ty. It's a relationship question. She says, what is your take on a person you consider a boyfriend, girlfriend, or friend who has a hidden agenda to being your boyfriend, girlfriend, or friend? That's concerning, for sure. I don't want anybody dealing with me if they have hidden agendas, ulterior motives. I'm a genuine person. I'm always coming genuine. I typically don't operate from a sneaky perspective. I'm not trying to be stealth in my intentions with someone. So I would say if you kind of question someone's sincerity, I would probably steer clear from them. I think that's a great question because a lot of times we feel like we have to engage with people because of the length of time or because of the dynamics. But if they're moving shifty and there's bad intentions, like it's not even an accident, a spur of the moment, and they just come in with some shadiness, I say, ax it now. I don't have time for that in my life. I don't want you to have time for that in your life, and y'all shouldn't have time for that in your life. This next question is from my cousin Pauline Diddy Bop. We did a segment about music. So if you haven't checked it out, it's on my YouTube page, Sentimentally Speaking. Please check it out. And Pauline sent me a couple of questions. One of them has to do with relationships. She said, how would I handle men who play it safe, pretend they don't care, but are scared to approach women? Why y'all playing it safe? I mean, if you like her, you like her. I don't like it. I think it's juvenile in a sense. I think it lacks maturity. I mean, come on, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. If you see a lady out there and you like her and you want to check for her or check on her, or reach out. Females find that attractive. We like assertive men, not aggressive men. Don't get it twisted. Of course, it's all in your approach. You ain't gonna come on some immature, yo, what's good, mom? You know what I'm saying? Yo. Like, don't do that. But if you come like real respectable and respectful, she's gonna receive that. Even if she's not attracted to you, I promise it will be well received, okay? So just show up like, hey, how you doing? Can I get a minute of your time? That's always a good one. Can I get a minute of your time? Because it's asking and not assuming that you're gonna get that. So I don't like it, and I think if men have that approach, they should switch it up and definitely be a straight shooter. This next one is a life question. What are my thoughts on a woman's independence being intimidating to men? I think it's very real, right? I don't think we're intimidating to men as much as men are intimidated by our independence. I think it could bring out some insecurities. It can make them seem, less worthy of you, your time, your space, your commitment. I don't believe that we should dismiss a man who may not be on our level. I believe that anybody has qualities. Anybody can really step their game up if they want to. Because as women and as go-getters, I mean, we are taking flight. You know what I'm saying? We up there. We making moves. And I think when the guys aren't making the same moves, that can be a little scary because they question their worth. But I guess what I would say to that is, if you could reassure him, if you could support him, guide him. I ain't in the business of keeping no man that ain't trying to keep himself. That's a fact. So I say I think it's very real, but how we respond to that is really truly what is most important. So even if a man isn't on your level and he's coming to you and you can sense his intimidation, try to offer a little reassurance. Guys like compliments too. Tell him how dope he is. If he has a skill or a talent, hone in on that. Tell him how great it is and, how impressed you were by something that he did. And, even if he details his car really well, like, yo, that's really dope. You ever thought about, creating a business in that? Just, pushing our fellas a little bit because they might need it. Pauline, you also asked a love category question. Can you ever really stop loving someone? Can you ever? If the love was really real, I would say no. I believe there's levels to love, right? And I believe that you can have love for somebody, you can love somebody, and then you're in love with somebody. I think once you love somebody, like you've committed your heart to that person, no matter what the level is, I don't think you stop loving them. Even care, right? Even showing care and concern for someone is a form of love, right? So I believe that, no, we can't stop loving someone, especially if we really, truly love that person to begin with. Good questions, ladies. Thank you. This question came from Dion, aka Pop, owner of Pursuit of Pleasure. Ladies, gentlemen, if you like your bedroom candy, hit up Pop. He has a plethora of items that can really, meet your needs. And he asked, of course, given his line of work, he asked a sex related question, and he was like, Has a man ever complimented you on your lips and you thought to yourself, you can't wait to please him with them? No. First of all, I don't think I've ever gotten compliments on my lips. I like my lips though, but I don't think anybody has ever complimented me on my lips per se. I do get a lot of compliments on this smile. Ting. And I never forget my sister. Shout out to you, chat. I got your question coming. She was like, you like showing your teeth, don't you? You always showing your teeth. I do. I love smiling. I spent a lot of money on these shits. I'm going to show them, okay? So, no, Pop. No one has complimented me on my lips where I had the opportunity to think beyond that. So, your next question states, would you let love stop you from choosing something you worked your whole life to achieve? That's a really great question. So I thought about this, right? Because I had to write it down. And I'm going to say no. No, if I worked my whole life to achieve that, love shouldn't want to stop me. Whoever is on the other side of that love should be supporting me, should be encouraging me, should be rooting me on, they should be helping me. Because if they're not, that's not love. So I'm going to say no. Love don't stop the show. Your next question is, could you tolerate a friend who consistently talks about doing something with their life, but they never commit to doing anything, or would you remove them from your life? So I really like this question, right? Because I was in that situation. I'm not going to say what the friend constantly talked about because I don't want to put them out there and it'll be obvious to them. But it is annoying. It is frustrating. It's like my grandmother would say, shit or get off the pot, okay? We can't keep just talking about something to death. I would ask, that sounds great. You've been talking about this for a really long time. What can I do to help? Do you want to sit down and create some goals? Let's talk about some action steps because I think you got something going here. You know, if you want to, buy a fleet of cars, if you want to do, car detailing, whatever it is that they're talking about achieving, maybe you could just, or we, all of us, can serve as that friend that encourages and pushes them towards that goal. I wouldn't get rid of them. That's more of a them problem. The only thing worse than hearing them talk about it is being the person who talks about it. And, just give them a little space and grace. They may not know where to start or how to start. And you could really be the catalyst to pushing them towards achieving what it is that they want to achieve. So good luck if we all have friends like that. Great questions, Pop. Thanks. This came from my baby girl. Hey, boo, hey. So she is the owner and operator of Brow Down Beauty and Cosmetics. If you haven't tapped in, please do. Oh, because baby girl, I got some good products. She asked me, what are personal boundaries you feel are important to uphold in a relationship? I honestly feel like whatever boundaries we set within that relationship, those boundaries have to be communicated though. We can't expect people to know what our boundaries are. Sometimes we have to actually sit down and talk about our boundaries. Like my boundary is I don't cross the line with friends and family. Like in my relationship, that is a hard barrier. Like if you my man, I don't play that flirting. I don't play that side-eyeing. Don't talk bad about my friends or my family. Like, so for me, I have a lot of boundaries, to be honest. I do. And I don't do it intentionally. I don't, try to push people away with them, but I establish them because I know that if they're crossed, it would be over. It would be finito. We would be done. So I do try to explain what those boundaries are early on in hopes that they never be crossed. Yes. What are your current priorities in this season of your life and why? Oh, baby girl, my priorities is being the best version of myself that I can. I spent so many years pacifying certain behaviors, burying certain pain and trauma. And there was a situation recently that really caused me to have to self-reflect. Like, I was like, okay, whatever it is I'm doing is not working. And I had to do the work. And I mean, I was reading articles on what it is that I identified as my issue. Um, it entailed me watching TED Talks or YouTube videos that were affiliated with what the identified issue associated with, some childhood trauma. And I just really want to be the best version of me because I don't want to hurt people I care about. I don't want to hurt people I love. And I know that I made some grave mistakes in my past, and that I don't want that to be how I'm perceived because it's far removed from who I am. And I want to just say prioritizing my mental, physical, and emotional health. That's important to me. Do you believe in love at first sight? Love? No. Do I believe in lust? Yes. Do I believe in limerence? Yes. If you don't know what limerence is, look it up. I was challenged with that a couple years ago. Do I believe in attraction at first sight? Absolutely. But I think it's going to take a little bit more than me physically seeing the person to fall in love. I think I can be very much attracted, like, oh my God, I'm in love with the way they walk. I'm in love with the way they talk. I'm in love with how they dress. But the meaning of love that I know, and I think you mean, and the rest of us come to appreciate, I don't think you could really be love at first sight. I saw somebody one time, was attracted to them, and I watched them for like a week. And I was infatuated, and it eventually turned into love, but it wasn't love at first sight. So no, I don't believe in love at first sight. And what are my biggest dream and aspiration? I don't want to share it publicly. I'm the type of person, I don't like to talk about it. I like to be about it. I do have them. They exist. They're here. And when I'm ready to launch it, you're going to be the first to know, baby girl. Promise you that. Thanks, Dion and Quay, for your question. The next couple of questions, I'm going to start with my sister, Viesa. She knows her sister. Her question was from the sex category, and she asked, what is your sexual fantasy, and have you achieved it yet? So had you asked me this question 3-6 months ago, my answer would be very different than what it is today. And I can honestly say it only involves one other person, my guy. I don't need to add anything or anyone else to that. It's an aura, it's an ambiance, it's an experience. I want us to go to a place we've never been that's extremely romantic visually. I want us to engage in an intimate conversation, maybe breakfast, lunch, dinner, something that involves eating, and that's when the foreplay starts and we're just talking to each other, and maybe we're giving each other the eye and the body language is saying it all. And then before the night ends, we make it about each other. We just aim to please in whatever way, whatever propensity and intensity that entails. That's what my sexual fantasy is. And yeah, it's been a dry tsunami, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that with my guy. So guy, if you're out there, I'm waiting on you. Deadass, I'm waiting on you. This last set of questions is from my Steffi. Hey, Shamaya, beautiful baby girl. So she had a few questions from different categories. So the first category was relationship. And she said, what does breaking generational curses mean when it comes to relationships? And the very first thing that crossed my mind was independent women. Going back to Pauline's question. I think time after time, we've seen our mothers be independent, our grandmothers be independent, our aunties independent, our sisters be independent, and think, I don't need no man. And yes, we do. We do. As much as we think we don't, we need men. Ladies, let's stop. I need a man. I want a man. And I think sometimes that can lead to basically creating more single parent households. And I think if we acknowledge our need for our male counterparts more, it will do our generation and our culture some good. So I think that's one generational curse we really should look to break. You asked me, can I meet a man with no connection and he can rock my world better than my significant other? Or does sexual experience depend on whether or not we have that connection? And can sex be good without a connection? So that's a mouthful. I'm going to break it down. So I'm part of the 75% where I receive my pleasure a very specific way, right? So I recently learned something about myself and how I engage in sex with men, and it's not something that I support because it's not something that I get pleasure from. It's more for their benefit. But I would say this. Yeah, dude, are there women who could meet a man and totally get their soul snatched without having a connection? Probably. You would have to be attracted to him in some way, shape, or form. Let's say that's a given. But I would say for some women, yes. For me, no. A connection is necessary for me to really appreciate the sexual act of engagement. So yes. So to your next point, the sexual experience will depend on the connection. For me personally, that's why I am on a ding-a-ling detox. I am on a sex sabbatical. My vagina's on a vagication. I just want my sexual engagements to be meaningful. I can't have frivolous sex. That happened in college years. I'm so well beyond that. Yeah. And this is a recent discovery. So for me, it has to be a connection. But I think some people can have good sex without having a connection, especially if you are someone who released from penetration. Because if he has the endowment and the girth and, the length that you need to get you off, you're probably going to have amazing sex, especially if you're attracted to that person. On a personal level, that doesn't work for me. Great question, though. I like that a lot. What's a deal breaker in a friendship? Let's say you gave me a scenario. Let's say I was invited to a function and the person hosted the function also invited another female who actually tried to engage with my man. Would I see that person as a friend or foe? I would say, so this came all kind of vague. We didn't have a chance to discuss it and I wanted to take it at face value. So I would say, it depends on how my man handled that situation, because my guy is going to be good looking. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be attractive. So it's almost expected of other women to be attracted to him. Now, it wasn't on some grimy stuff where she knew that was my man and she still tried to holler at him. That's different. But if they happen to meet, they see each other at a restaurant or at a movie theater or at the gas station or at the car wash, and she's like, hey, how you doing? Yo, baby, yo. She tried to holler at him, and then we were both invited to a function. I wouldn't hold that against the host. Maybe she didn't even know that was the case. She probably had no clue. I don't think that could be held against her. Now, if this other female, like I said, was going for my dude, knew that was my dude, was on some snake stuff, trying to get back at me, or, just trying to basically turn him on and step to him on some gritty stuff, and that hostess knew that and still invited us to a function, I probably would have a little bit of a problem with that. I'm big on asking who gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Because if they really my friend, they know I don't like this person. So I would hope they would tell me like, hey, just so you know, I invited Becky with the good hair. And I could like, is Becky with the good hair coming? Because if Becky coming, I'm probably going to bow out because I'm still not over that situation. And then maybe Becky with the good hair won't be there and I could just go and enjoy with my family. Or I might be like, you know what, babe, sit this one out. I'm going to go. I don't know. That's a very intricate scenario. I would have to gauge that by mood, by how much time has passed, by my man's response. Did my man tell me about this? Did I hear it through the grapevine? Like, there's a lot associated with that. So, Yeah, I would probably need more details, Debbie. I would probably need more details. But yeah, so that concludes the Q&A session. Thank you for everyone who took the time to submit questions to me, who allowed me to do this reverse interview. This is the intro into my new season 3, Sentimentally Speaking. I have some good stuff lined up. I hope you guys will take the time to tune in. You know, I'm not going to tell you you don't want to miss it, because if you do, that's on you. But if you do, you can always come back through because it's on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So all will not be lost. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your love. But most of all, thank you for being present. I appreciate y'all, because y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with me. And in the pose of my grandbaby Puntins,